This beautiful machine is an Edison opera or concert. This is considered possibly the pinnacle of cylinder machines. Edison did have another machine called the Alva, which I think is also a pretty spectacular machine. But for most people, this is the top of the line machine Edison ever made. And it's quite beautiful. The opera or concert came out in 1911 and was called the opera at the time. And it came in a mahogany case. This one's a little bit later. In 1912, they came out with one in an oak case. And the two are similar, but there are slight differences. The earlier one, or the mahogany version, had handles on each side to lift the machine up, which this one doesn't. It's more like all the other machines Edison produced where it doesn't have any handles on the side. This version, the oak version from 1912, has these latches here to secure the lid. The mahogany version didn't have the latches because the assumption was that this machine wouldn't, I guess, get moved around very much. Now, the name of this machine generally is called the opera, but in 1912, Edison was sued, and because of a court injunction, he had to change the name to the concert. So this machine on this particular version is a little bit later one, so it's called the Edison Concert Phonograph. Now, in 1913, Edison decided that they would no longer be producing outside horn machines with the exception of the schoolhouse. So all of these machines were discontinued then. So the life of these machines wasn't really that long. 1911 till around 1913, I believe, is when they discontinued making outside horn machines. The mechanism on this machine, when I bring you in close to look at it, you'll see is different than all of the other Edison machines. In this one, the mandrel moves as opposed to the reproducer traveling across the cylinder as it plays. This one, the mandrel travels across the reproducer. So I'm going to bring you in and we'll take a look at it. Just look at that horn. Oak horns are so pretty. This was Edison's attempt to sort of compete with Victor, which was coming out with machines with nice wood horns. So Edison followed suit. And also machines, the Victor phonographs, had back mounts to keep the horn from sticking out so far. And so this is Edison's design to get around that too. The horn is mounted on the top there near the reproducer. And you can see the really gorgeous reproducer. This is a Diamond B because it was specifically designed to play 4-minute blue amberoles. The 4-minute amberole cylinders were wax and they did not use a diamond. They used a sapphire stylus. So this wouldn't play those 4-minute records without damaging them. And you can see here on the back of the bed plate, there's a speed control. So you can adjust how fast it's going. And the governor is under this cover. One nice thing about this machine is that the horn sits on it when the lid is on. You just have to remove the horn, put the lid on, and then there's a hole in the lid where you can insert the horn. Smart idea. The bed plate's in good condition, except as you can obviously see, there's some paint wear. But I've noticed a lot of these operas and concerts have paint adherence problems. They seem to peel quite a bit. So this was something that didn't seem to be so common on their other machines. There's the ID plate, concert. I kind of like the banners better, but this machine never had a banner. They were much later than that era. Under there is a flywheel, which makes the cylinder move with more stability. Here we have, this turns on the mechanism, and this raises and lowers the needle. So that's separated on this. And then here's an automatic shut off or stop. So you put this in line with the end of the cylinder, and then when it reaches the end, it moves this and flips this here. So I'll show you that when I run a cylinder. So let's listen to a cylinder. So I tried to find something a little different. The Junkman Rag medley banjo. Thought that would be kind of cool. So let's give this a listen. Turn it on. So what a wonderful machine, an easy machine to sell. I've had to sell a couple of these in the past, and there are always people lined up to buy them because they're not super rare, so they're not super expensive, but they're beautiful sounding machines and they just look so gorgeous.